Good evening, folks. Welcome to day 16, the 16th of January. It's Friday night. Woohoo! It's very exciting. I am a bit pooped. So I was driving home today listening to the Sell More Book Show podcast, which is a fantastic podcast about book marketing and about generally things in publishing. It's very up to date. It's great stuff. And they were talking about a blog by a fantastic writer called Seth Godin. And he was talking about writing a bestseller and how you shouldn't sort of set out to write a bestseller. You need to write a book for and market a book for a certain group of people. And once you reach that tipping point, then the sort of the casual readers will pick up on it. Which I thought was interesting. It made me kind of reflect on, as a writer, on two things as a writer. On first of all, upon the idea of who you write for. A lot of people these days in indie publishing, because there's so much freedom, there's talk of kind of figuring out what the market is for a book before you begin writing it, to decide whether or not you should write it, or whether you should go say, well, actually no one's reading this at the moment, so is it worth me writing it? And then obviously there's a lot of talk whereby people say, well, actually think of one person. Who is this? Who would you really like to read this book, and have that person in your mind when you write it. So yeah, it kind of got me thinking about how I approach my writing. And for me, I tend to have someone very much in mind. So, are they going to laugh at the bits I think are funny? And if they're not, then I have to rewrite them. Are they going to be excited by the bits I think are exciting? And I think that helps me to remain true to the overall sort of feel of the book and the overall themes behind the book as well. Any writers watching this, I would love to know your perspective on that, on how you kind of approach who you're writing for as well. So yeah, please leave comments on the website or YouTube and let me know. That'd be great. Thanks. So progress for today. I thought I'd start by just talking about the podcast for a minute, because I've just recorded, Friday night is my podcast night, so I've just recorded episode 14. 14, yes, I think so. Episode 14 of Scarlet's Web. I have a fiction podcast. It goes up on my blog every Saturday night and through to iTunes as well. It's 10 minutes long and it's fiction. So it's me reading. At the moment, I'm reading the last chapter in the book about Scarlet, one of my favourite characters to write. She's a teenage magician. She's grumpy and sarcastic and generally hates the world. And so the world does horrible things to her. It's great fun. And yeah, so that kind of got serialized on my blog over the last kind of year, I suppose. And I'm reaching the end of reading that through the podcasts. So if you're an audiobook sort of fan, then you might want to go and have a listen to that. So yeah, pleased with that. In terms of general writing progress, good again today. 4,400 words written and 8,300 words edited, I think. Yeah. So another good day. It means that I've hit my Monday to Friday targets again, writing and editing, which is fantastic. Tomorrow night the aim is to edit the short story that's going to be on the blog on Sunday. And then Sunday obviously is just my short story day, so I just get to write another short story. Hooray! Which is great fun. I really look forward to that. The quote for today comes from Poe Bronson and is, "Books have been my classroom and my confidant. Books have widened my horizons. Books have comforted me in my hardest times. Books have changed my life." I really couldn't put it any better than that. I can't remember a time when I haven't read. I track parts of my life by the books I've read, and times when I pick up a book that I read in the past, as soon as I start reading it, I remember where I was when I first read it. It takes me back to that place as well. So it goes in both directions, but yeah, it's all about the books. I hope everyone's had a lovely Friday and you're looking forward to the weekend. Yeah, I shall see you tomorrow. Cheers.